Good morning, everyone. Okay, we'll continue with our book reading this morning. The Toyota Way to Service Excellence by Jeffrey K. Leica and Karen Ross. Okay, we're in chapter 10. We're looking at the long journey to a customer-focused learning organization. The long journey to a customer-focused learning organization. Yesterday on page 360, we looked at 361, we looked at philosophy, long-term systems thinking, and principle 1 says passionately pursue purpose based on guideline. So like all journeys, we looked at NLT's beginning. We looked at how they started their journey and what they thought of, things they put down in place. We looked at what their roadmap was like and what their current condition of the company organization was like, and they knew where to start from. They also looked at the challenges in future, how they were going to control it, what kind of problems are going to come up, and what are the solutions that they might likely bring to solve these problems. Today on page 364, we'll be looking at process, said flow value to each customer, and under there we'll be looking at principle 2, which says deeply understand customers' need. Deeply understand customers' need. So Joe and his partners had worked for a variety of taxi companies over the years. Having spent countless hours talking with customers as they drove them from other companies, they started out with a pretty deep understanding of customers' needs and what service excellence meant to them. 1. Safety first. A safe ride was always most important. Every time, customers want to be picked up and dropped off on time. Clean cars and personable, friendly drivers, delightful in-car experience. 4. Reasonable price. With that understanding, NTL could begin to form some hypotheses about what delivering that service excellence would look like. For example, number 1, drivers won't text or answer the phone while a customer is in the car, ever. Number 2, drivers will use the app to give real-time status updates to customers and dispatch about pickup and drop-off time. Number 3, drivers will wear suits and tuck in their shirts. Number 4, cars will be clean inside and out on a regular schedule. As well as having a good understanding of their customers' needs and the opportunity to gather feedback from them on an ongoing basis. Each and every ride, Joe and his team also use their taxi driving experience to start thinking about how to keep all the rides flowing and to work on leaving their workload. Principle 3 says strive for one piece flow. Strive for one piece flow. Think about it. Although it may not seem obvious at first, taxi drivers actually have an innate understanding of flow. They are on the road every day. So both flow and barriers to flow, which the partners decided to call roadblocks, are a huge part of a taxi driver's everyday experience. Anything that stops or slows down the ride once it's started is a roadblock and a barrier to flow. And taxi drivers know how important flow is. Neither they nor their customers want to stop moving once they get going. So finding ways to keep the ride moving from the moment the customers are picked up to the moment they are dropped off is of utmost importance in delivering service excellence in the world of taxi driving. They also know that in general, Monday mornings and Thursday nights will be busiest for airport drop-off and pickups, as that is when the majority of business travelers are heading to the airport and coming home. Striving to be on time every time would mean paying careful attention to ride patterns and determining the right number of drivers during those times. In order to do this, the partners decided to track each day's ride destination and time on a visual board so that they could identify patterns and trends. And they started a spreadsheet to track ride targets and actual time. What time was a customer supposed to have been picked up? What time was she actually picked up? And if she wasn't picked up on time, what was the cause? In this way, Joe, Ken, and Todd will be able to begin to identify the roadblocks and barriers to flow. Once they identify them, they will be able to start to use PDCA to figure out the causes and identify potential countermeasures that they could experiment with daily. So this is your stuff for our reading this morning, talking about process, flow value to each customer, which means deeply understanding the customer's need. So in this page, they've been able to identify the customer's need. They've been able to understand customers' need for service excellence. And one of those things that customers need is safety. When you talk about cars, so many people talk about think about safety. When you also talk about driving or talk about like Uber or Bolt, someone who is conscious of time would want to go on time to where he wants to go to. He wants to pick up on time. Someone who is timely will look at all those things. Then you also look at a clean car, a person, a friendly driver, a delighted driver, someone who has an experience in driving. Then you also look at reasonable prices. So all these things are the needs that they identified as customers need when it comes to NTLM services. Okay, so this is where we'll stop for our reading today. Thank you.